Microphone check. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. How's it going? Yo, Rev, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. That's right. I love your Jimmy Crack Corn. I love it. It's a great name. Elbow cough. That's right. All right. We'll get... Oh, what's going on here? Deactivate, oh, I know what's going on. 1 second. It'd probably help if I plugged in the camera. Let me actually shut it off and then turn it back on, so. And while that's going on for all the Twitch folks, I'll pull this up. We got our marble race open. If you're watching on Twitch, you can !play to enter the follower giveaway. Then we have the sub giveaway later. If you're watching on YouTube, all you got to do is go to our most recent video. Because unfortunately, I can't do giveaways on both platforms at the same time due to Twitch. Oh, that's wrong, Jerry. No. We want this. Yeah, that's right. But now we are doing a giveaway on YouTube as well, the last Friday of the month, and that's the last video of the month, or the video on the last Friday. So the most recent video, you can go like, comment, and subscribe on it, and then I'll pick a name in a week from now. But hopefully my camera should be good if I just go ahead and reactivate maybe? Hello? Oh, let's turn it back on. How about that? That probably helps. There we go. Anyways, we are finally doing a giveaway on YouTube, which is nice because I felt bad for all the folks on YouTube that have been missing out on our Friday Fly giveaway we do every month. So I found a way to do it. And yeah, go check out the new Razzle Dazzle video if you haven't after the stream tonight. You can find out how you can get a chance to win that fly. Let's go ahead and get our camera all set up here. We're going to be tying some Flatwings tonight. Actually zoom out a little so you could see me messing with all the feathers. I don't know if you see here, but we got a bunch of, I got 24 bodies ready for some color on top. These are the high tie bait fish, also known as the Blitz Bunker Busters that we tie for saltwaterflies.com. So I'm going to finish up these tonight, and then there's a little behind the scenes stuff you can see. But I got a bunch of cinder worms that I just need to spin some deer hair on these, and these are for a local fly shop, Whitewater Outfitters, which I just dropped some flies off today for them. I dropped off 2 dozen candies and some cinder worm flies, picked up some materials, so we got some beautiful new white bucktail. Not the best, but long enough to work with, which, by the way, those prices are getting crazy on these bucktail. I need to tie some deceivers and things like that. What else did I get? We'll just go over some of the materials real quick. Pretty much stuff I need for my commercial orders. I got some Mustad C70 SAPs, which are the big game hooks that I use all the time. The new versions. Got some Grande Crystalistas in that hot pink and blue for some banners, because it's springtime and we got banners to tie. Flat body braid. I'm out of Bill's body braid, which is my preferred. This is like Hairline's copy of it. It's alright. Works. Some black deer belly, because I need to spin the heads. I do like 2 ties, 2 wraps on those cinder worms, and I trim it and put head cement so it floats very nicely. What's going on, Doc? How's it going, dude? And then I got some peacock curl, nice long peacock curl for some deceivers, but also for some YouTube stuff. Little sneak peek. I'm not going to tell you what the fly is, but I'm going to show you some of the materials for the next fly. It's from somebody that you probably know. I don't know if necessarily from his flies, even though I know his flies well from growing up in striper fishing. But he's more known for being in the fly tying world. But I got some ram's wool here. And I have some rabbit fur. I have some lead eyes. And what else? Some bucktail is what that fly. And some mono. So you can guess what that is, but that'll be, let's see, that'll be like next Friday's video or something. I got to record it. Right now we have the new Razzle Dazzle video went up Sunday. It's early up for members right now, a couple days early. The David Skokes mushmouth. We tied a larger mushmouth to imitate some like large spearing and stuff like that. Great striper and albie fly. And then we also have, let's see, a Squimpish candy will be Wednesday's video. So I still need to film Monday's video. I don't know. I might skip this Monday. We'll see. Because I kind of do a short fly on Monday. It's not that big of a deal. It literally will probably take 5 minutes to film and an hour to edit. I'm thinking we're probably going to do an Ely. Very simple fly. And then Friday will be that little batch of materials I just teased. So I got to film. I always try to stay a week ahead of schedule when it comes to these videos is what I'm trying to do. So we're pretty much there, but I need to keep filming to stay ahead of schedule. So it's a never-ending thing, but I'm trying for the year. I want to do 4 videos a week. It's a little bit much, but you know what? It's a nice challenge. All right, there we go. So we're going to tie some flatwings because we just tied the new Razzle Dazzle. So I was thinking we'll start off with some smaller flatwings because these are what I like to fish a lot in the spring. These along with like bucktail deceivers or just like raised flies. Very simple stuff. Doesn't need to be fancy in the springtime. But yeah, we'll tie some flatwings. So another thing I'm working on is essentially like how to choose the right fly for striped bass. So whether it's certain times of the year, certain conditions, or overall philosophies and belief when it comes to the order of what's important when choosing a fly. And we've talked about this so much over the years, and it's been rammed into my brain from reading different books, but so I'm writing the script for that, and I have to find a bunch of clips of fishing footage I have, fly tying footage. I might go out and film some stuff, use some photos I have, but this will be the first video where it's like discussing a topic and not just straight up doing like a tutorial or going fishing. So I'm kind of excited for it, but I'm also kind of nervous because it's different. You know, it's like a talking point video, like a educational, like how to, you know, try to make the best decision. And a lot of times we just overthink it, but so that'll be interesting. That'll be the first video I do like that. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to use some mono because I have it. I might switch over. I did buy a bunch of thread. I got a huge order from saltwaterflies.com, and that's what I'm using for all my commercial stuff because he always takes care of me over there. Oh yeah, we're going to be busy. We got a lot of flies to tie. I have the owner of a fly rod company, Vise Fishing Co., which they have very nice fly rods. You should check them out. Very nice guy, the owner. He also takes people down fishing on guided trips. They're going to Baja for rooster fish, so I'm going to tie some rooster flies for him. So right now I'm trying to work on getting as many videos as I can pre-recorded so I can edit them down the line, and also also get as much local fly tying done as I can for the local shops. I went out to this other tackle shop the other day. He's trying to get some fly tying materials in stock, so I was kind of going over. I was like, you got to get in contact with Hairline, you know what I mean, and what to do, yada yada yada. So he's a nice guy as well. Smaller shop, but you know, we do some fly tying for them. And it's good because there's not really a shop out that way out east. Even out in Montauk, a lot of the tackle shops that have been around for a long time are closing and stuff because the place is changing drastically. This isn't that far east, but all right. We need to grab some hackle here. Let me grab some feathers for us because we're going flatwings tonight. Also, I kind of want to show it off. We'll use it. I like my old jaws. I'm actually going to have, what do you call it? Don, the owner of Regal, take my old jaws, and we're going to put them in a new thing. Because I think they wore out over time, and they fit really huge hooks in there. Just because I've tied, like, not even exaggerating, probably 10,000 flies plus on this head. So I have my new Vise head here, though. Let's check it out. Which, shout out to Regal for pretty much always taking care of me. This one's pretty beat up, and what do you call it? I was like, hey, I'd like to either maybe try and get a new purple head or something, because you guys built this. This is like a limited edition color and everything that they don't make anymore. And Don was, the owner was nice enough to build this and send it out. And he even powder coated the handle, or has this purple handle, which looks amazing. Brand new jaws, though. I kind of have to like break them in a little bit. You know what I mean? But my old jaws are so nice. It's almost like an old wrench, or like an old tool, right? So I kind of I want to keep the old jaws. Probably just will change the handle, put a new head.
What it do?
Hey, yo, AR. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Hey, Santi Sport Fishing. Are you Baja Fishing or whatever on Instagram? You followed me after the stream that day. I followed you back. One of the guys that are going down there, some of the guys were asking. So I was like, oh, I had this guide from Baja in the chat while I was tying your guys' flies the other night. And so I sent them over your way. I'm pretty sure that was you. Yeah. Okay, cool. They were like, oh, who's the guide? So I sent them your account and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't hooking somebody else up. I don't know if they're gonna ask you to go, but it's always good to get some exposure because I appreciate the help. Yo, Southern Fly Guy, how you doing, man? Make sure you at some point just for 2 seconds hop on over to Twitch and type !play. Which, shout out to all the YouTube members as well as my Twitch subs. You guys are, I finally got my stuff together. And I'm trying to every video, either in the middle or near the end. I'm going to mix it up so it doesn't get too intrusive. But just for a little bit, I run your guys' names through on the video as a thank you. Because you guys do help, help support me do this, as well as tie flies for businesses and stuff and be able to squeak out a living. So I appreciate it. So I was like, I got to start including you folks in there. Trying to step up our game. Now, I need some feedback. Anybody on YouTube or Twitch, you guys have been watching the new videos. Do you like it? I think it's been a little dark at times because the way essentially I have my light set up, I'll show you real quick. This light here, I have this neat or something like that light. It's a really nice light, by the way. Look at my Saltwater Flies sticker on there, saltwaterflies.com. What I do is I essentially have the light like this, like right above it, like this. And you see how the background gets super dark? And that way, like, the fly is sitting in, like, pitch blackness, or pitch darkness, you know what I mean? Like, it's pitch black behind it. But I feel like, especially I tied a couple flies with, like, darker topping material. It was kind of, like, hard to see. So I think I just need to adjust it a little bit, even if you see the background slightly. Like, I have my sound deadening, like, studio equipment on the walls here. Even if you see that, I think I might just need to tweak it a little. Need an OTT lamp? I'll take a look. I'll check into it. You like it? Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm only using one source. I think if I get a second source, that might be like the way to go. But it's kind of something like this almost, but from down. Daylight. Okay. Yeah, and I have my white balance set up really nicely. I have the aperture and everything. Actually, wait, I'm actually going to switch that back for live streaming because I had it kind of dark. That should be a little better, actually, like that. There we go. So I think I just needed to tweak it a little, but I was just curious with some feedback. I think it looks great compared to just having like a black cloth on the table and like recording in the day. The only thing is I kind of have to record at night, right? But yeah, I was curious. Let's tie a little mini version of a Razzle Dazzle. So if you make sure you do watch the Razzle Dazzle video. what do you call it? Make sure you watch the Razzle Dazzle video, and yeah, you can get a chance to win that fly. But the cool thing, it was been a while since I've tied that. Kenny Abrams actually had his feathers start out longer and then slowly get shorter, which is I always start out shorter and then get longer as I go, right? So that was kind of interesting to see. So we're going to keep it like that. And this patch is kind of running low. So this is the kind of downside. Once you start using a lot of the feathers, now look at this. Like, look how many feathers have these split ends, right? Which is just really not what I'm looking to use. When I tie flies for myself, I have no problem doing that. So I'm probably going to just use these. But when I'm tying for orders, you know what I mean? Like, you end up with a lot of feathers like that, which is, you can always polymer with it, do stuff, but I need feathers that I could tie on, right? So it's kind of a shame when you end up with a lot of that. But that's okay. We don't care. The fish don't care. Yeah, not some of the guys are going with Rise. Some of them are separate, but it's always, you know, put your name out there. So we'll just go ahead and tie this on here. So I am going to, because we're wrapping body braid and this is a flatwing, I like to actually, probably should have tied the bucktail all the way, but this is a little trick I do with my traditional deceivers. You know, you tie a feather tail, and then you, what do you call it? You wrap your body braid forward. What'll happen is if you tie all your material right by the hook point traditionally and like trim it, so that you don't have that material then running the whole length, when you wrap your body braid, you're going to have this like nub here, and then it'll dive down. So I like to tie the material all the way up to where I'm going to like tie the bucktail essentially, and then I'll wrap the body braid so your body braid is even and it's not this like wavy or exaggerated mess, right? Okay. I'll take a look, Southern Fly Guy. I could probably definitely improve my lighting a little bit. Which we'll just double real quick. What do we got? Yep, we got you guys in there. Do the follower one first, and then we'll do subscriber one after. Photos of stamps. That's pretty cool. The videos look great. Thank you, Santi. Appreciate it. Santi Sport Fishing. Santi. How you doing, AR? What's up, dude? I got your flies going out tomorrow. I'm going to the post office. I'm going to send Doc a couple flies in the mail, too, because you've won a couple times. If Wolf Watch ends up tuning in, this is Wolf's Helm. I don't know if this is OG Wolf that's been watching us for a while, but if you change his name, I forgot. But if Wolf's Helm, you hear this, I need you to send me a shipping address, bro, because I don't think I ever got one. But we got Super AR and Jin. I'm sending out a couple flies tomorrow for the Friday Fly giveaway. Hey, Oliver. How you doing? Hey, bro. Let's go ahead and... I'm more of like a wheat bro or something, but... Alright. We'll go ahead and tie our flatwing tail on here. We're going to do like a little mini razzle dazzle. Maybe not all the colors. Almost getting time to get out there, huh? It's almost, Rabbit. Almost. Hopefully, what? Usually it's like the first week of April. More than likely early part of the second week of April is when we actually catch our first fish locally. So I might go out and just like go down there and go try and catch a white perch. We know that they're down there. I've never caught one at my creek. I know that there's white perch. So I might just go and mess around. And I also want to film some flies because, dude, I made a couple shorts on YouTube that got like 15,000 views, 15-second clips of just some bulkhead deceiver, stuff like that. So maybe I'll take some of the flies that we've tied, bring them down, and like swim them in the current over there and try and get some cool footage. Doing good, Oliver? Good, I'm glad to hear it. Getting some new material tomorrow. I'm super excited. What are you getting? I just went to the store today and got some bucktail and stuff like that. Surf casting guy up in Maine posted a spring run video of striped bass from early April. I'm convinced I can catch them in Massachusetts end of March. Yeah, I think you should look for. They're probably going to be resident fish. They're almost certainly going to be resident fish. So you got to look for rivers. Look for places. Look for muddy bottom areas, places that don't freeze over, and preferably like somewhere with like some sort of river, deeper river outflow or something. There's definitely holdovers. Like we even have holdovers here, but it's just really not something that I like running around chasing. It's not really worth it. But if you're really itching for it, you could probably find some in. If you got to find like warm water, either outflows of power plants and stuff. But yeah, you try not to target. I mean, but in early March in Massachusetts, I mean, there might be some fish that are. Now, the other thing to think about, I wonder if up in Maine they're getting those fish from Canada. There's a lot of fish up in Canada. The mass is almost larger than the So maybe they might be getting fish from up north. You might start seeing an early migratory. I have no idea. Or, maybe with just how weather's changing and global water temperatures on the rise, maybe fish are starting to move earlier. I don't know. Last year was some of the worst fishing I've ever had. Early spring, fantastic. I caught like 30 striped bass, between April and May. And then after that, no fish came into the bay. They all stayed out in the ocean, messing with bunker. And it wasn't until when I was surf fishing and it was too rough, I'd go in the bay in like October, late October. I caught a couple like 10-inch stripers. But it was all like fish in the 25 to 28-inch range, nothing below that. And spring was great, and then the summer, it fell off. Inshore was just terrible. If you had a boat, people were catching 40, 50-pounders on live bunker every day. But the inshore fishing was terrible. So it could be like something locally with algae, like who knows, right? But more than likely, I think it was something to do with the bunker. There's so much bunker that, a lot of fish don't need to move in. And then there's a good chance that we've had such poor striper spawnings for the past 5 years that the fish that would be 10 inches, for instance, at this point, that you would normally catch, there's not many of those. There's not many 10 to 18 to 22 inch because that stock of fish is pretty much non-existent because of poor spawning. So, that the ASMFC reported, because they check the stock every year based on spawning and studies and stuff in places like the Chesapeake, the Hudson, and all that, right? So, bad spawns, high mortality from catch and release fishing, as well as algae blooms and poor water quality, right? So, I mean, there's like a million different factors. And a lot of it's not good factors. Like, I'm not happy that we have that, but I will say that is one of the things what makes fishing, right? Is like sometimes it's cyclical, sometimes it's skill, sometimes it's luck. You know what I mean? It's like you're at the will of the fishing gods sometimes because there's so many factors that can go into it. And then you can go down there and there could be fish you could walk on, you know what I mean? But it's interesting. I'm curious to see what this year will be like because from commercial like bait fishing and stuff like that and clamming, what you find out is that everything's cyclical. Like there'll be terrible clamming for sometimes a couple years or sometimes 5 years or sometimes 10 years, and then there'll be phenomenal clamming for 10 years and stuff, and it's based off how well they spawn, this and that, the weather, and how cold it got during the winter, and like, all this stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it. And that also carries over to any type of fishing or any sort of marine life thing, So there's so much that goes into it. But I'm hoping that we have a good season. I'm hoping that we have any false albacore that come inshore. That was the mainstay of my channel, was going out and going screw on my boat. There's been no albies coming in recently, so they've been staying out in like 120 foot of water in the fall, which is very unfortunate. But, then the sand deal's made up for it. It's so much, man. Fishing is just... Fishing is something else, I'll tell you that much. before we do that, we're going to go with one more white. Oh, I should be tying some different flash on here, shouldn't I? It is what it is, exactly. Exactly. But, you know, it's good to think about it every once in a while, right? It's good to remind yourself you're kind of out of control of this stuff, so. Because it can easily devolve into, well, I can't catch a fish to save my life. Bonito were fun? Yeah, I think we're starting to see bonito more and more locally on the South Shore of Long Island. And more people are starting to, like, on the North Shore, catch actual bonito. I'm not talking about half a pound bonito that we see every year. Because in Massachusetts, you guys get legit bonito. In the past, we've only had, I'm talking about they're like bait bonito, right? Very, very small. And exciting to watch, but you wouldn't even want to hook one on like a 5-weight maybe or something, you know? Nowadays, we're starting to see in the Sound, I don't really get to fish there much, but we're starting to see like 3, 4, 5 pound bonito, which is like, okay, hold up. Not 10 pounds, you know? Like you'd see off Martha's Vineyard in like the 90s or whatever. Because I never got to experience that. That was up north. But yeah, so that's interesting. I would love to have a healthy mix of bonito and albies. Because albies fight harder from what I've heard, right? They're almost kind of more exciting. Bonito, I think, are kind of more like a unicorn fish for us. If I caught a giant bonito, I'd be like, oh my god. You know, that would like make my year. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I would love to catch a, that just, like, reminds me of growing up in, like, the 90s and tying flies and reading books and articles about, you know, the Martha's Vineyard Derby and Dave Skoke with, like, Grand Slam Derby, you know, record bonito and all these cool photos. And I'm like, oh, man, I would love to catch a bonito. What's going on, Anonymous? How you doing? But, yeah. Seems like it's a better possibility. I feel like I have a better possibility catching a bluefin than I do a large bonito out here, but I'm praying we get 50 to 100 pound tuna. The only tuna we get inshore nowadays are 500 pound plus. Like that's not really something you want to hook on a 14 weight, let alone anything with a fly line, so if we start getting inshore runs of football bluefins, then I'm really going to be stoked. That's pretty much what I tied that Skoke fly that's coming out on Sunday. It's most of the time you can tie them smaller for like albies and bonito, and they'll eat bigger ones as well. I've seen Skoke tie some bigger ones, but I like the large ones for like the large spawning size spearing that we net a lot of times in the summer. The fish go crazy for those big spearing. I'm talking about like 5-6 inch spearing, massive ones. They get up in the grass and they spawn. The females lay their eggs in the reeds at high tide, and then the males go, and they're just milking up the water. It's pretty wild to see, and then you just look and there's just bass blowing up. It's so cool. We'd have to sit there and let them spawn and like do all their stuff and like milt the eggs. And then once they would drop out, they were done spawning. You could net them, you know. So my boss was nice enough to make sure that we'd get spearing next year and all that. Very interesting, though. It's very cool. It all has to deal with the moon, the tides, water temperature. I'm telling you, dude, fish are crazy. Fish are wild. Probably would be fun being a marine biologist. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Yo, Fearmonger, what's up? You're anonymous, right? Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. I was trying to remember. I knew it was one of you hooligans. What do you call it? I'm putting some effort, dude. We're doing 4 videos a week. I'm going to try that for a year. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? I'm having fun. I'm not beating myself up too much because I'm like kind of a week ahead schedule. If I get burnt out, then I'll slow it down, but I'm enjoying it. So we'll see. ASMR. No, there's that one woman that has a fly tying channel. She's like Far more successful than me. She looks like she's an amazing fly tyer too. It's She Ties Flies, I think it is, or something. She does the ASMR tying. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be honest with you, ASMR kind of freaks me out. I mean, it kind of like creeps me out a little bit. Not that I don't want to ick anybody's, whatever they call that. I forgot the term already, but like, I'm scarred from like checking out Amaranth's ASMR back in the day with like horse masks on or something. It's just the whispering, like, okay, we're going to take our body braid and we're just going to slowly like, it's just too intimate for flies for me, you know what I mean? But she's an amazing fly tyer, so if you're into that stuff, you should check it out. I think you should check her out anyway, her flies. But yeah, it's like almost to the ASMR thing in general. You know, I've tried watching it on Twitch and stuff like that. Not even like the highly, let's say, I'm streaming on YouTube, so I got to be careful. Not even the highly spicy content. Just normal stuff, right? It's just a little, it's too much for me, so. Yeah, I saw recently, I watched, there was a cuttlefish video that was amazing. The fly looked fantastic. I was like, damn, she's got her camera settings dialed in. I was doing research. I was like, I gotta step up my game here. But yeah, check her out. She's got some great flies. Sorry, I'm not doing ASMR. Nope. Plus the hookah lounge, because of the hookah lounge, a lot of times I get dry mouth, you know? So if I have an ASMR mic, it'll just sound like I have permanent cotton mouth, probably. All right. Now we're tying like a mini version of a razzle here. So now I got some criticism and some fair criticism. I forgot the gentleman's name or the person's name, but they've been commenting on some of my Flatwing and raised flies video, and they've had the pleasure of doing some tying and talking to Bondrew and Abrams and people. Or, you know, he was telling me he got an Abrams Razzle Dazzle. He was saying there was a lot less bucktail than mine, and definitely true. I think Abrams and Ray Bondrew definitely were very, very... let me also get my camera a little better, because I'm going to end up pulling this closer to me a lot, so... Abrams was very well known for like barely using bucktail or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, like that's where the term whispers of bucktail is like 3 to 5 hairs of bucktail, and he would use like 3 whispers of bucktail on the throat of a fly, which is like, I just love that, right? But a lot of times I like, and this is what I replied in a comment to this person, because they had some, it was reminding me I probably should tone it down, you know what I mean? If you've ever like actually gotten a Kenny Abrams fly or something like that in person, it's always very, very little material. The Razzle Dazzle does call for more material, but what I explained is I kind of like to mix my fly tying, right? I'll take some, and this is just like the style of flies that I tie, right? And how I tie flies. Because you could take 10 people, give them all the same material to tie a surf candy, and each surf candy will look slightly different. That's just how it is, right? Because of how you tie. But I like to mix like Bob Popovic's, a little Mark Sadati, but a lot of it is like Popovic's and Abrams sort of blend. You know what I mean? So I don't always like use too much. I try to keep it light sometimes, and sometimes I use less bucktail than Popovic's would because Abrams always preached using less. But I'll use a little bit more bucktail than Abrams sometimes because I want to push water and I want the fish to feel the vibrations. Even if it's just moving, that bucktail moving around, like the fish pick up on that with their lateral line, you know? So I like to blend, I like to have a little mix, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was thinking about upgrading at some point. This is an Audio-Technica condenser mic, but I have a whole mixer set up. I run it through and all this, yada, 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 sound elimination boxes with XLR cables. It's kind of a mess, but I wouldn't mind upgrading to the standardized Shure microphone that you see every single person in the world that makes content at a higher level. It's just the Shure, like, podcasting type mic, but it's an XLR cardioid mic as opposed to a condenser. My mic picks up sound behind it. You know what I mean? Like this. Instead of directly in front of it. I do have windsock on there and a sound dampening thing, but at times you know, if somebody was outside with a motorcycle right now, like ring, ding, 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 my window's directly behind the mic, you would hear that like clear as day, you know. So. Oh, well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. All right. Enough blabbing. I mean, this is what the live fly tie-in's all about. If you guys want to watch how to tie the razzle dazzle, we have a video for that. That's up now. Speaking of which, don't forget, go watch it, like, comment, and subscribe on it. If you're not, I mean, sure, most of you already subscribed to the channel, and in a week from now, I'm going to pick somebody to win the razzle dazzle that we tied in that video. That goes for you folks on Twitch after the stream's done. Go watch the new razzle dazzle video. I think that one came out pretty well. That's with, like, I tried to make sure I had the light a little bit more focused, because at times when I'm working with my hand, it gets a little dark. Right. But. Do you have Marshall veins to prevent side fumbling? What? You talking about Marshall, like the amp? I don't know what you mean. Side fumbling? That's like somebody's like, hey, you got Marshall veins on that thing to prevent side fumbling? That's like when somebody's talking to you about like a hobby they enjoy, and you have no idea what they're talking about. That's what that sounded like, Southern Fly Guy. Yeah, what about the quadrisangle, and what about the reverb on that thing? Sound pretty good, or is it kind of equilateral? Yeah, I don't know. Yo, Brock Brush Studio, what's up? How's it going, dude? Forgot for a second you changed your name a while, but how things going? How's your painting going? If you guys are looking for an amazing painter and airbrusher on Twitch, like lifelike airbrushing, unbelievable, you should check out Brock Brush Studio. How things been? Doing good, okay. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we'll try and use less bucktail this time to stay true to the Abrams. Not to mention this is a size 1 C70 SD, so we don't want to pile up too much material on there. Now we do need to tie a tiny bit on the sides for the razzle dazzle. Painting's going great, very good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I remember we rated a couple times where I tuned in, and I was like, man, you're always doing some killer stuff. Now you just got to start doing Warhammer commissions, charging like $100 a mini. Bang out like 30 of those. Sheesh. Yeah, I got my Iowata. It's good. I'm rough with it. I'm leaving the cap completely off the back. I don't know why. I was having issues. I don't know if the needle was hitting the back cap or whatever, but whatever. Sometimes some paint gets all clogged in there, so I just started taking it apart and leaving all of the pieces in a Tupperware of rubbing alcohol, just to like help break it up, because I'm using Vallejo primers and stuff. But what do you call it? Yeah, you should do Warhammer commissions of artwork of like Fulgrim or something is what you should do. Those guys will. There's some serious Warhammer whales out there. What do you call it? So I just got to clean it. You know what I mean? And stop treating it like a beauty pageant. I'm treating it like my entry price kind of like priming airbrush. But I want to get a nicer one with a smaller, nozzle flow or whatever, so I could do the like plasma guns, like the glow on the eyes on a helmet, stuff like that. But been going pretty good. I don't think I have anything. Actually, I'll real quick, I will show you guys, just because Brock's here. Hang on. What was the name of the airbrush? Brock, what sort of airbrush do you use? I use an Iowata Pro or something like that, Santi. It was like a $40 airbrush from Hobby Lobby, but I know Iowata is like a name brand you want to trust, but Yeah, this is a good one to show you because I haven't done any trim or anything, but this is airbrushed real quick for all you Warhammer nerds. And what I do is I prime it black. And there's barely any work that you do here. It's very simple, but it's black underneath, or black in general. You spray paint it black, and then from underneath I hit it with green. It's very light. You can just barely see it. It's kind of hard to see. And then I hit it with Mephisto Red, is the Citadel color from above. And I usually do I do it from above, so I keep the black and green from below. But what I do is I'll do like one coat, and then I'll do another coat higher up from above to get like highlights. And then from there, you go, so that way you have like kind of a natural highlight. And then you got to go paint all the trim, and I'll show you what that would look like if you do that. You get a guy like this, for instance. But I wasn't going too crazy with like highlighting and all that. But I have some other here. Real quick, we're getting back to fly tying. Hold on. There we go. This is a good example of some better highlighting here with the airbrush. See how it's like a darker purple underneath, and then I hit it with some white ink from above for some like natural like object source lighting or whatever you could call it. Same thing here. This is airbrushed on the power sword. See how it goes like the white to that? It's fun. Basic stuff, you know what I mean? All right, we're getting back to fly tying. That's it. Enough nerd talk. No, I've never used it on flies because I never really used popper heads and stuff. That's what Brock was doing. He was originally airbrushing lures and stuff. So you can do that with what do you call it? If you have like foam popper heads, you know what I'm talking about, like those classic rainy foam heads and stuff like that. Santi, those are like something you can airbrush. But and then probably throw like some varnish or like a clear coat over it or something. Use the Iwata Micron. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely an investment, I'm sure, if you're doing it at that level. They have entry-level Iwata stuff. That's what I'm using. It was like $40. Works great. So, especially if you're not painting miniatures, you know what I mean, or doing extremely fine detail, I think it would work great for airbrushing like a popper head. So, have you not seen the feathers Montana Fly Company are doing? Airbrush feathers for big trout streamers. They look sick. No. Hold on. You telling me I should start airbrushing like my flies? Like I'll like a finished fly with synthetic material. I'm just airbrushing it like whoosh. Because you probably need to use inks or something, because you need something that would soak into the material, because regular acrylic paints like I use don't I feel like that would just wear out, right? Was it Montana Fly Company? Montana Fly Company. Oh, that actually looks pretty cool. Are these the Gollop feathers? Yeah, are these airbrushed though? Or are these like you know how you do like t-shirts? You know how you do t-shirts and you can lay them down and then like run ink over them or something like that? I feel like, is this like I forgot the correct terminology for that sort of thing. Is that what they're doing, or are these airbrush? Screen print, something like that. Do they have some system? It's like stamped. Yeah, with the Copic, yeah, like Waddles was saying, Santi. You can use the airbrush systems with the Copic. I remember they used to have that. But I've never seen people like do it to material. I've only seen people do it to popper heads. You know what? This can be something we can do. I did type in airbrush feathers, and this is what popped up. Oh yeah, see, they're screen printed. Screen printed. Okay, okay, that makes sense. They're probably like some sort of like I don't know if they use paint. They're probably using like inks or something. Now, okay, we got a pro, Brock. If I was gonna airbrush something like this with like stencils, let's say, acrylic paint isn't gonna work, obviously, right? And it also is gonna be too thick. So you need something that's thin. So would you use like an ink? Like I have 100% pure inks or whatever, or liquid inks from what's the name of that brand, that company? They make a bunch of inks. I forgot the name of it. It's like good quality. Alcohol based. What could I airbrush to do this? Because I don't have like Sharpie. I can't use the Copic markers. Like I have a regular airbrush. You can't. I don't have like the system. I wonder, like, could you use like oils? You need something that, like, I don't know what you could use that wouldn't stop the feather from getting too rigid or something. Using this for big streamers in Chattahoochee River, Atlanta, for huge browns. That's pretty cool that you can go fishing. I mean, I'm assuming it's not in downtown Atlanta, right? But it's like outer, area of Atlanta. You can go catch 30-inch browns. That's interesting. Yeah, we got to figure out what I can use, what I can use with my airbrush to do this, because we could try it. I'd be happy to try it. But like, do it with the. Okay. Interesting. Thanks for bringing that up, Doc. That could be a fun like video, is like airbrushing feathers or something. Bleeding into the feather. Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm sure with screen printing they can get like a nice even thing, but that might be something fun to try out. I mean, if you've ever used dyed feathers, pink feathers, in some of the videos I'll make where I put pink feathered flies in that swim tank, within a minute the water is like pink, or has a pink hinge to it, tint. So it definitely might just run out or something. But I mean, that could be like a fun thing to experiment with. I don't think it's game changing, but that's pretty cool, those screen printed feathers. I will say though, like, I didn't even really look at the price and for how many you get, but I mean, all it takes is one bluefish. You know? Right? I mean, it's cool. I don't know if that'll ever like pop off. I don't think I'll ever like start using those for all my flies, because it's also probably extremely expensive. That's kind of like just like more so the sort of thing you do for like yourself, I feel like. I mean, it does look sick. But then there's like the old guy standing next to you, and he's got like just some marabou on a hook. He's like smoking a pipe. He's like, I've been fishing this fly for 45 years. And he's catching like fish bigger than you, so. But I could see that increasing your confidence in your fly and probably increasing your hookup rates, because you're fishing the crap out of it and it looks amazing. I would love to try something like that, though. That'd be cool. You know, that's definitely one way fly tying is kind of going, in ultra realistic way, you know. But I grew up in an era where it was like very much a like Ken Abrams sort of Popovic's like blending bucktails. Half the time the fly looks like a piece of cotton candy, not even a fly. It's really about the shape, the profile, how you fish it, how it looks in the water, not, you know, it looking like a Rapala lure. You know what I mean? But that being said, I always say this, if it makes you more confident in the fly, then you're going to fish it harder. So that is one of the things we're going to be we're going to be talking about in the first, you know, like I said, how to choose the right fly when fishing for striped bass, and it'll cover other species as well. But that, you know, one guy, I should do a skit. I should film a skit actually for that video, where you're standing there and some guy's like next to you, like, hey, psh, come here. And you're standing on the inlet. He goes, here, I want to show you something. You got to use the chartreuse and white. Here, I'll give you one. They're not going to eat anything else. And you walk back, and then the other guy standing next to you goes, he's looking around, he goes, psst, hey, come here. You come over, he's like, dude, you got to use the pink and white. They're not eating anything else. You're not going to catch them on anything else. Here, take one. You know, there's that sort of classic thing. And then there's like the old guy over there. He's got like just a hook with some flat, like it's like all the material fell off of it, you know. I'll give you, because I've said it a million times, the way that it goes in order is presentation. If you're not putting the fly in the area where the fish are going to eat it, they'll never eat it, right? Second up is profile, the overall shape and length, and profile, the width of the fly, whether it's seen from the side, above, below, whatever, right? Then we start getting into overall color. Is it dark for cloudy days and dark days? Is it light colored fly for very bright flats fishing? And then we can start getting into, okay, is it chartreuse over white with a little bit of pink or a little bit of yellow on the side? You know what I mean? That's like the ascending order of importance that I kind of live by when it comes to fishing. And I think some people will disagree, and I welcome it. I'm excited to put the video. I'm excited to hear people's opinions, because some people swear color is the most important thing. You know what I mean? Some people say like size, shape doesn't matter, and you just got to put it in front of them or something. Some people say, well, if you don't have the, whatever, then they won't eat it. It's vice versa. There's a million different reasoning or logics, but that's kind of how Kenny Abrams and a lot of other great fly tyers kind of explained it in their books and stuff. So that's kind of how I generally go about it, right? If the fish are sitting and they're eating bait in the current, and they're only taking bait that's naturally drifting by or that's fleeing in a certain way, if it doesn't look natural, they're smart. Like striped bass aren't stupid. To get to 20, 30 pounds, they had to live for the past 18 years and probably get hooked about God knows how many times. So they get pretty smart when they get to a certain size. So you got to present the fly in a natural way and in the proper way for how the fish are reacting at the time. Then it goes into shape, presentation, or the profile. Then we can start getting into colors. So those are all things I'm going to try and talk about. But because I find it interesting. Some people disagree. Some people don't know this stuff, Maybe they just get into it. And maybe you think you're like, I've only ever caught them on this chartreuse and white one. But it's like you're only ever fishing the chartreuse and white one. So it's interesting, and there's a lot. That's again another fun thing about fishing, and what makes it fishing is that there's no there's no right or wrong, right? Everything I say could be completely different for somebody else, and it's just my interpretation of everything. So that's what I enjoy about it, honestly. Let's get a good look here. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So pretty much, this is the razzle dazzle. You tie feathers flat on top, and you just have this material for the belly. Now we scaled it down, all right? A lot less material this time. And for most of my flatwings like this, I don't even tie eyes. Now I use tab eyes in the video because, people like putting eyes on flies. But you'll see a lot of times Kenny Abrams was using jungle cock, and I do not have that sort of money, right? So to buy $150 patch of feathers. So a lot of times I just won't use eyes. Like, is the difference between me catching a fish having jungle cock eyes on it? Like, I highly doubt. A lot of times the fish aren't even going to be looking at it from that angle. They'll be looking at it from underneath. That's the whole reason we're tying a flatwing and naturally swinging the fly with a floating line, right? So, but whenever I see a flatwing like that with jungle cock, it just looks exactly what, it just finishes the fly. It's like if you have like a beautiful steak, and at the end they put that piece of butter on there and some salt and pepper or something like that. It's that last final finishing touch that could bring it together, right? So even though but I won't go and glue eyes on these flies a lot of times, because you start messing with the natural shape of flatwings. And same thing with hollow flies. With bucktail hollow flies, 90% of the time I don't even put eyes because the fly just looks better without disturbing that area of the fly, right? So unless you have something like jungle cock or tab eyes, and even that might affect the way that the bucktail flares on the sides, right? So a lot of times I don't even fish eyes on my flies personally, and I like, it's curious. This is why I'm gonna start doing polls and stuff on the YouTube posts. I did some. And it's nice. I don't think I'm curious when we have more people looking at that stuff and we start getting some analytics. How important do people find this stuff? You know what I mean? Like you in the chat, do you disagree? Like, how you go about approaching or thinking about picking a fly? This is actually good research for my video that I'm doing right now. This is a good way for you folks in chat to get involved. What's the most important thing? Is it color? Is it size? Did what I say with presentation and then profile and then getting into nitty gritty of color and stuff? And that way, do you agree with that? Do you disagree? What are you guys' opinions on those sort of things? How do you go about thinking when you first get down to the water? It's been all year. Other than just grabbing the fly that you know and love, like a clouser or deceiver, how would you go about looking at a body of water and being like, well, maybe I should fish this, right? While anyone responds with that, this is a good time to check in on the marble race because we're going to do this here soon. All you got to do is head over to Twitch and be following the channel, which is just pretty much like subscribing on YouTube. It's free. And type !play. And the first marble to land in the pit is going to be winning a fly or two. And then we'll be doing our subscriber race. Now, for everybody on YouTube, if you're just hanging out there and you don't feel like doing that, all you got to do is go to our new Razzle Dazzle video, which just came out, and type or just comment something, like the video, and be subscribed to the channel. In a week, I'm going to pick somebody, and they're going to win the Razzle Dazzle from that video. So for all you folks on YouTube, you guys are finally getting some giveaway action going on. We're going to do that once a month. It'll be the last video, or last Friday of the month. Same thing that we do with our fly tying. So you'll have more opportunities if you don't win this one. But get in early because I don't plan on stop making videos, and hopefully I hit 50,000 subscribers one of these days. And at that point, it'll be harder to win flies. Just ask some of my long-term Twitch subs. Back when I had 5 Twitch subs, people were eating good. They were winning flies every other month, and then we started getting 20 subs. They're like, damn it. Or we started getting more people watching. Oh, no. I'm never going to win. You always begin with the half and half. That's a classic right there, St. Croix Kid. How you doing, by the way? I think saltfish are way less choosy, more opportunistic. Yeah. Now, yeah, you're coming from a trout, right? Where you kind of have your 10 commandments of it's got to be the midge at this size, right color. If it's not purple for a quarter center millimeter here, then you're not going to eat it. That's the trout way of thinking, right? We're here it's way, and that's why I like saltwater fly tying, because you can be far more free with what you're doing. There's no rules, right? Because a striped bass, a lot of times, as long as you follow a couple basic laws of physics, so the fly swims properly and moves through the air properly to cast it, a lot of times they'll eat it, right? They're maybe not as picky. They're more opportunistic. A lot of times they'll eat crab, shrimp, squid, bait fish, juvenile horseshoe crabs. Pieces of scallops being chucked out from behind boats. Yo, Supra, what's going on, dude? I got flies going out tomorrow. I think the address we had last should be correct from what I know, so that's going out. So, which was from last year, the previous year, so. I got you and a couple other folks. I'm going to drop those off. I got to send Bujika some minis. I painted some minis for him because he's getting into D&D. And we'll see. I kind of want to... I don't know if I'll be able to get them done, but maybe tonight I'll try and complete the high tide bait fish. But yeah, I'm pretty certain. I just wanted to double check. But I'm more like yourself. I tend not to overthink it too much. As said, it's all in your mind. Yeah. And again, like everything I said could be completely false. And just my interpretation of it all. And it's the joy of fly fishing, as Mike Ross would say. You know what I mean? Okay. So, let's go ahead and do our follower marble race here. I'm going to go downstairs, grab another White Claw, take a quick break for a couple minutes, and then we're going to tie some more flies. So, let's go ahead and real quick get some marble music going here. I'll leave this up. Exclamation mark play. All you got to be doing is following the channel on Twitch. I'm going to go Epidemic Sound. I had an issue with one of my new videos. One of the songs from Epidemic Sound got claimed, so I just took it out and changed it. But I pay for this stuff, so I'm hopefully that's not going to be an issue where I have to like dispute these claims where they were trying to share my revenue. I pay like $20 a month for Epidemic Sound. I've been doing this for like years. I love the service, but it's a little pricey, you know, but it is what it is, at least after it works. But hey, thank you, Santi. Appreciate it. White clam. White clam. Your bee-looking fly worked in my neighbor's pond. Okay, I don't even remember. I used the little bee-looking fly last weekend and got a small crappie. I'm gonna be honest with you, Supra. I've tied so many flies, I don't remember anything. I'm glad that worked. I don't even remember it. So, hell yeah. Very cool. We've tied so many flies over the years, you know? All right, chat. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's pick a different one here. All right. All you got to do is exclamation mark play. I'll give you another couple seconds here, and then we'll get back to fly time. We'll take a quick little break, grab another drink. All right. It was a killer bee. All right. There you go, Gabe. Perfect timing. I was going to just wait 10 seconds. You got in there. First marble to land in the pit's going to win a fly or two in the mail. Let's see it. Good luck. Oh, and just like that, Doc immediately went flying off the track. See you later. I've got it programmed. I'm not paying international shipping. Screw that. You know what I'm talking about? Oh. Gabe approaching the slalom section here, doing about 135 miles an hour. We'll see if he can keep his composure. So far, looking good. Slipped in the race at the last second, saying, yeah, I'm winning some flies tonight. Oh, and he broke through down to the lower level. Looks like he's snapped through the ice, thin layer. But it all could be part of his plan. Supra as well. Seems that this track is not up to OSHA standards. Gabe isn't slowing down, though, but Southern Fly Guy, Supra, and AR catching up close behind. Approaching the snowflake section here. And this could be the hopes and dreams being crushed. Classic, get to a section, get elbowed in the face by another marble. And look at this, Supra, Southern Fly Guy, neck and neck, making their way through. Gabe got hung up in the... It's like when you go to the carnival and they have in those punching bags and you walk through them and, you know, like the horror house. He got stuck up in one of those things. But Supra, Southern Fly Guy, looking good, coming around the bend, neck and neck. Who can find the hole first? It all comes down to this. It's all going to come down to who's got the best apex on the turn, the highest G-force. But Gabe's showing up again, too. He's saying, no, I'm not out yet. And now we're at the point in the race where people are falling asleep. We've realized that we've kind of screwed up the geometry of the circle here, and it's going to take about 3 years for somebody to actually go into the hole. But AR shows up. He's using a Rubik's Cube. I don't know if that's allowed. Is that cheating? I don't know. Oh, we're getting closer to the hole. Just like that, Gabe has found his way to victory, falling back from the lead. Southern Fly Guy, it looked like he had it with Supra, but they could not find the exit. And just like that, Gabe's using the shake and bake and the momentum with me finding my way through with the win. So congratulations, Gabe. First giveaway winner on the channel, I know, right? I think this is the first one you've got, so you will need to give me a shipping address on Discord. So if you could do that at some point, no rush, but get that and we'll get you some flies. But we are going to get the next marble race. Jerry, can we turn the music down? Come on, we're a fly time channel. We're not a marble stream, you know what I mean? You guys can hop in there, though. We have our subscriber race, which we'll do at the end of the stream. Okay? Now, cut the music. Congratulations to Gabe. We'll need a shipping address. And next race will be subscriber only. Now, you can join the race even if you're not a Twitch sub, whether it be Twitch Prime, Tier 1, 2, or 3. But the first sub is going to, in the marble pit, and in the winner circle, is going to be winning some flies. Yeah, you're in the Discord, Gabe. All I need is a shipping address. That's all I need. Just give me somewhere to send the flies, and I'll send an envelope with a couple flies in the mail. So congratulations. We're going to take a quick little break, play our Albie video. Appreciate everybody on YouTube still sticking through. You're like, oh, gee, Willikers, I don't get to marble race. Well, a white clam. I got you. Now I see what you're saying. That's right. I'm drinking white clams. We do have our new video after the stream. Razzle Dazzle and giveaway. Like, comment, subscribe. You might get a chance to win that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, oh, man, you know, like, I wonder how many... I wouldn't be surprised if, like, 10 people do it, 5 people do it on the... there's a week. I'm curious to see how many people actually enter. So, go do that after the stream. Like, for all we know, like, it's... I wouldn't be surprised if there's only, like, 5 or 10 people actually comment on the video. Or you never know, we might get 50 comments. Who knows, right? So, I'm curious. So I know St. Croix Kid, you put the videos on 2X. You gotta you might miss it. So, all right, we're gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be back here in just a moment. We'll tie some more Flatwings. Maybe we'll do like a darker color razzle dazzle, if you will. So, be back in just a moment, and we'll play our Albie highlight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Stay tight, all right? Yeah, keep it tight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he did. Knuckle buster. Are you good? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I might need a ride. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna turn now.
I'm gonna try and get on the valve.
Yeah, get on the valve. All right, you're doing good. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna move us away. No, that's a nice one.
Let's go!
Good job.
That's sick.
All right. Nice.
Let's go! Albie slap.
Good job, dude.
Yee.
Looking down the barrel of a 12 gauge little toonie, bro. On the alligator too. Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Woohoo! Oh my god. Yep. All right. We're back. Yeah, I sent you a message on Discord. I sent you a message, Gabe's. So let me make sure my notifications are off so we don't hear beep boop boop boop. All right. So, let's tie another one. Well, let's just tie some flatwings in general. There's some darker feathers. I wouldn't mind tying some eelies and stuff, but we could tie some like razzle dazzle type darker fly. Okay, I wouldn't mind switching to regular thread. Well, we'll keep using the mono. I don't necessarily like using mono for like flatwings. I like my classic Danville 210 denier, but it's all good. One of the hardest things to not do is move the vise around while I'm tying. I do that all the time. It's just part of how I tie while I'm recording. It's something I have to like. I tighten my base so tight so I can't do it to stop myself because I have to like keep the focus. I use manual focus, right? So I have to keep it still the whole time. It drives me crazy because I want to do it so bad. I want to move it around all over the place. Something I do all the time. I don't know why. I just do. All right. So by the way, I think this is a original. Is this an RLS patch? I don't know if it is. I have a white RLS patch, old one, and all the feathers are like this. It's like a dry fly hackle, you know? I like a little bit of a wider hackle for Flatwings, but I'm going to go ahead and use this. I don't know if anyone has any old RLS patches. The RLS patches were Ken Abrams hackles, like his chickens or something, if I'm not wrong. And I had really, really, really skinny lawn feathers. We're talking about like 20, 30 inches. And they were just like a little too long, really, to like do much with, you know? Little long and skinny. Ugh, I should have just got up. Yeah, let me get up. Hold on, I gotta get some bucktail for the colors. Being lazy. Let's get some black. And that should be good. We'll use purple feathers, black, bucktail. That should be alright. Let me make sure. We got our marble race, subscriber race. Make sure you hop in there. We'll be doing that at the end of the stream on Twitch. Alright. So, let's tie a darker version, like a black version. We'll tie this fly and then we'll do our marble race. I like taking my time too. I'll probably end up spending almost 40 minutes on this fly, so. I do need to probably, so it's either I film another 2 videos tonight. Monday's video, like I said, I'm thinking I might even skip Monday just to, like every other Monday, because it's always a very short video. It's like only a couple minutes, but so it's either I film that and then the mystery fly, which I tease some of the material. It's a really cool fly from a really cool fly tire, which will be Fridays next week's. So I either film that stuff tonight or I just finish these 24 Blitz bunker busters and try and get those done so I can go to the post office tomorrow. No matter what, I got to go to the post office tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be able to get these done in time, but I'm thinking if I just probably sit down tonight, I'll be able to get the majority of it done, and then tomorrow sit down and finish it. And I think the post office closes at 1, so I usually try and head over there before 12 or something like that. So let's, yeah, man, these feathers are supremely skinny. Pretty crazy. Maybe we'll throw I have a American Rooster Whiting hackle. Maybe we'll throw one of those on there. I think I have some other black hackle. Let me take a look. There's nothing wrong with some skinny hackle. If we were going for some sand eels, this would be right up our alley. Some juvenile baby sand eels. This is pretty much the size. Yeah, I'm going to have to buy some black hackle. I'm running low. I don't think I really have any good patches. What about some purple? I could probably throw some purple on here. That I should have. Even this stuff is super long. But this looks a little better. We'll mix it up. A little black and purple. I like how it blocked you because it thought it was like something racist, but you're talking about raccoon fur. Gotcha. Twitch is very protective. Yeah, what do you call it? So you tried, like, you did some trapping, you got a raccoon, and you tried processing the hair and stuff. You don't recommend it? You know, I like raccoons. I hunt and stuff. I hunt for deer. I don't really do it as much anymore just because I don't have much time, but we have a raccoon that lives in a tree behind my house, and during the summertime I sit out there and like watch like a stream on my phone and just don't even move for like an hour. And this raccoon will walk by, and he stepped on my foot this summer and was just like chilling. He just walked right by, boop, stepped on my flip flops, kept going. He doesn't bother us. Only certain parts, yeah. Well, you could probably use it for like dubbing. What did you try and use the hair for? Hey, Craggerroll. What's going on, dude? I don't think I can go hunting for raccoons, though. I like raccoons. I spent a lot of time helping a wildlife center over here, so I got to like hold baby possums and raccoons and stuff. Deer are cute too, but they just taste too good. That's the downfall for them, right? That's what they got going for them. Now, do I dare tie? Do I dare go with like 2? Do we treat because this saddle hackle's so skinny? You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to tie on a single piece of ostrich and treat it like it's a single feather. Tying it in Flatwing style. The new trend. Do you tie your ostrich feathers Flatwing style? Psh, no? Amateur. So we're just going to tie our ostrich on flat. See, this is like a skit right here. Because I'm very much a, like, unless you do something drastically crazy, it's very hard to be truly original in fly tying nowadays, right? Because it's like, it is kind of like almost like rock music. There's only so many ways you could play an A chord, or A bar chord, right? There's only so many ways you could tie feathers on there. But this would be funny is like, I have revolutionized fly tying. Let me introduce to you the flatwing ostrich fly. And it's like me just tying a flatwing with ostrich hurl tied flat, which I don't even know if you could argue that, like, should we try and tie ostrich side to side? Like, it's not even that stiff, right? But it's like, I'm like putting out press releases. I have revolutionized fly tying forever. I took what you would normally do with feathers, and I tied it with a different feather. That's right, I'm calling it the chinchilla fly or something. They come up with some crazy name. And that's how you be a professional fly tyer. Boom. Easy. Go ahead, somebody, you could steal it right now. Tie the ostrich flat. You got to come up with a cool name, though. I'm not good at that, so I'll leave that up to you. But I'd be too lazy to figure out the copyright, so that's all you. Go ahead and tie some crystal flash in here. Keep it light, not too much. Streamers. Yeah, I think that's more of a dubbing thing. Because how long is raccoon hair, right? You can only... They don't necessarily have very long hair. So I think that'd be more like a dubbing sort of thing. Unless you tie something small. Yo, Riggedy Bop, what's up? How you doing? What have you been up to? You getting ready to start fishing or something? It's funny, I started using what the hell is this thread called? Unimono, size 0.004, fine clear. It's definitely far thinner than I think this is Danville Mono medium or fine. And I got used to it because it's so much thinner. And now this is thicker, it's kind of throwing me off. Even though this is way stronger, like that I was breaking a lot. It was driving me crazy. Never stopped. I forgot you guys are psychos. And you fish in the winter, even though it's probably colder than New York. See, we don't have enough fresh water to keep fishing. So people just like hang out and, drink Guinness or something. Or go duck hunting or something. I forgot you guys are crazy. You guys go like ice fishing probably. You're fishing rivers when it's snowing. It's the nice thing about saltwater. It's like, there's no fish, too cold. Play some Warhammer. You want to try beaver fur for trout flies? Man, you trout guys, you're always chinchilla hair, ostrich, emu eggs. Never stops. It's always something. Next thing you know, you'll be getting arrested by the federales because you're helping little peacock bring over bald eagle feathers across the border. Okay? Just stick with some bucktail and some hackle. Tie some raise flies. How dare you call me a trout guy? I don't know. You're over here skinning raccoons for fly tying material, okay? That sounds like a trout guy to me. Okay? Am I wrong, chat? I like how you took offense. How dare you call me a trout guy? Hey, I've seen you post a lot of trout photos, Gabe, okay? I'm just saying. For a guy who doesn't claim to be a trout guy, I do it for the money. Okay, now we're talking as anyone should do anything, right? The true motivation in life. These young bucks, you got to start them out right, Riggedy? He's got a good mindset. That's why I'm over here not making money. It wasn't until recently I started looking up the calculations of how much the hooks cost per fly. I was like, oh my God, I got to start adjusting my fly prices. Yo, Cozy, what's up? How you doing? What are you up to? By the way, we got our sub race up, ! Play for the marble race. We did the follower one early. You can always, even if you're not a sub, feel free to hop in there. Maybe you can knock, like Doc's marble off the track or something. I always join just for that possibility of like a collision or blocking somebody. You know, you got to make it exciting, right? This is like you can't have boring marble races. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Does anyone have anything interesting planned for the weekend? I know it's starting to get warm enough that people are starting to fish. Well, is anyone starting to do any fishing? You guys, I think, when is the Ward Melville show on Long Island? Isn't that coming up here soon? I'm not doing it, but I will be at the Long Island Fly Fishing Show in March, on March 8th. So, but I know that I think there's a fishing show coming up soon, the big one, conventional show, the Ward Melville one. This mono thread loves to slip in general. That's why I like my flat wax nylon. It's got that bulldog bite like a Regal Vise. Gonna go dredge a nymph, club a trout. Make sure when it like gets stuck in its mouth, because it doesn't want to eat it, you're just like dredging it. Make sure you violently yank that rod up. You know what I mean? Like you pretty much want to gaff it with the nymph. Maybe tie musky fly and prep for a musky expo. Oh, now that sounds like something I would go to. Most of these fly shows are like, you know, they're fun. Like the New Jersey one's cool. There's a lot of saltwater guys. I enjoy going to it. But like, you know, I don't know if I would go to like a Denver fly show. It's probably a lot of trout stuff. It's not really my forte or what I like. You know what I mean? Not that I'm hating on it. It's just not what I enjoy. I always love talking to the musky guys. When we did the Pennsylvania fishing show, I think it was, the Philadelphia fishing show, it was not in Philadelphia, it was somewhere else, but I drove me and my buddy Tyler out there. We got a booth. Pretty much nobody bought any flies. It was just musky guys coming up to us and loving all of our striped bass flies, like the giant bunker flies, and they were like, oh my God, let me show you my musky flies. And we were just talking to these musky guys. It was just musky guys they were just so passionate. They were tying like just the coolest flies because it's pretty much like saltwater fly tying. So that was a fun show. We didn't, I don't know if we made enough money to cover our hotel rooms, but what do you call it? The musky guys were like, oh my God, I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll bring my fly box. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. That was a lot of fun. I'm always impressed with the big musky tying. It's a lot of, You know, if I was forced to go inshore and not have any saltwater fishing, it would probably have to be like pike and muskie just for the flies, you know. Yo, Drew, long time no see. How you doing? What's up? The muskie people are definitely sick in the head. You know, the good kind. Just like us striper guys or gals, you know. But a fun show. Doing some tying demos at the event. Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, they asked if I wanted to like do like presentations. And you would think as somebody who like streams live and ties flies and makes videos all the time that I would want to do it, but in fact it makes me not want to do that. I kind of actually just want to do the Long Island Fly Show. I'm just going to hang out and chit chat because there's a lot of people that I haven't seen in a long time. Because I kind of fell off for a little bit. I was doing a lot of commercial bunker fishing and clamming, and I'm trying to pretty much get back more focusing into not only my fly tying, but particularly making videos and stuff. So it'll be good to show face and just see a lot of people from the industry and locally that I know. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be selling flies like a booth or anything. I'm just going to be hanging out and tying. Repping Squimpish flies, of course. I don't know if they're going to be there. They were in the past, but I don't know if they're coming this year. So I'll make sure to I have like 1 million Squimpish flies stickers that they've sent me over the years. So I'm just going to like hand a bunch of those out. That show was in Oaks, PA. I bought some flies from you there, and that was years ago. So Drew was like the only guy or gal that... No, a guy, I'm almost certain, right? But I don't want to misjudge. I'm almost certain you're a guy. I'll just say guy. Drew was the only guy that bought flies from me, probably. And that's funny. I'm sorry I did not remember that you were from that show, and it was Oaks, PA. That was a fun show. I sometimes forget how long ago that was, too. That was years ago, wasn't it? It had to have been years ago because I think I was still dating this one girl at the time. So that had to have been like, that was a while ago. That's how I used my measurements. What car I was driving and what girl I was dating at the time. All right. I got some peacock curl. That was a fun show. That was a really cool area. I like that area, PA. It was cool. Kind of reminded me of parts of Long Island to a certain degree without the ocean. But thank you, Drew. Appreciate that. Yeah, I remember the guy was like, hey, you want to do that show again? I'm like, nobody cares about fly fishing out there, especially striped bass. I'm like, no, sorry. Because some guy I met at like a Long Island fly show, and he was like, hey, you should come do this. It's going to be great. I'm like, all right, cool. Drive all the way out there. I'm like, I feel like this is like not really our, like, you know, this isn't really like the, you know, people are like, you got trout flies? We're like, no, we got some streamers. I think my buddy Tyler sold a bunch of, he tied like sick articulated flies and stuff. But it's always fun to do that sort of stuff. But I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this. Look at how this thread head came out. This fly did not come out very good. I think I've just started chit-chatting too much. I mean, it's totally fine, but like, this is why I like using the Danville. I have far less control when it comes to building up too much thread with this mono, but got a little carried away. It's fine. I'm just being a drama queen over here. But I kept it sparse. Nice and sparse. Because trying to take some feedback on some Abrams stuff. Totally right. They did tie their flies extremely sparse a lot of times. So I should try and more lean to this side more often for my flies for when I go fishing, you know. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if I tied it more fuller, put some eyes on there, it'd probably sell better at like a fly shop. But when it comes to like fishing these flies, a lot of times, if I'm going for like the Abrams style, it's just, you want to make sure you can like see how you can see your hand through there. You want to keep that translucency, you know. Yo, Slavos, What's going on? Okay. Let me try and say your name again. Athanasio? Or no. Athanas? I'm gonna call you Athan. Athan. You tell me how you want me. Just give me like a abbreviation. I've said it right before. Athanasios? Athanasios. Is that how you say it? Okay. It's gonna get me every time. It's gonna take me a couple times before I feel comfortable. I'll practice it after the stream. You know. I was probably the only other fly guy there. You know, that's what it felt like back in the day when I was growing up out here, Drew. There was like nobody that fly fished. Nowadays, you see a lot more. But it was like, you wouldn't like, you know, certain areas are very not maybe famous for fly fishing. You just don't see a lot of people that do it. You'll stop by on the 8th. Okay, cool. I want you to tell me how you say your name, and I'm going to burn it into my brain, the exact pronunciation. I don't know if we're rolling any letters. I'm on Long Island. Jimmy Crack Corn. You use the GSP? Yeah, I got some here. I was actually using it to spin the deer hair on those cinderworm flies that I was tying. This is the Vise GSP, right? It was pretty good. I will say now, so anybody uses this, use this for all your tying, Jimmy, because I tied some of these, but in black with this thread. And when I got to a certain point, I could actually spin the entire body. And I put the GSP on the shank. Do you not put GSP on the shank and just tie it? Like, because that's one of the things is like that I found with it. If I tie the entire fly compared to other threads, like that you can actually like take the fly and move it like this. Because for some reason, the GSP is so slick or something that it moves on itself. I don't know if you found that, or maybe you got to use super glue while you're tying with it a lot. So I use it for spinning deer hair heads, and that's it. That's the only thing I use GSP for because it doesn't break. It sucks the cut, it sucks the re-spool, but it doesn't break. So I use it to spin deer hair, and I generally use a tiny drop of super glue before I put the deer hair down, like a very small amount. And then I'll do like 3 or 4 wraps because I find this stuff builds up at times, kind of like how I'm getting a little thread buildup. But that's just me personally when I work with it. Use mono mainly nowadays. What's going on, Jay? So when I wrap the shank with the GSP at the beginning, I stop when I get to the bend in the hook and then super glue the shank. Gotcha. It stops it from spinning. Okay. So this is before you tie anything. You completely cover all of the thread with super glue that you've just covered the shank with. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever use this for all of my tying because I had to do a couple because I ran out. And then I just said, screw it. I'm going back to red thread, and I'll just cover it up with the dubbing like I did. And if you see some red thread, whatever. But I like it for spinning. But yeah, it's not my favorite for regular tying. But interesting. I wonder if maybe that just gives it more grit or bite for that thread to wrap onto so it doesn't spin. That's kind of my like logic, I feel like. Because I don't think the initial layer that you're tying is spinning. Is that what you're saying? The initial thread wrapping covering the hook shank is what is spinning? Because I think when you start tying the material on top of that is when it starts spinning. So I'm assuming if you're covering that with super glue, maybe it like gives it some grit or bite for the material to grab. Because that's really what putting thread on a hook shank is doing, right? If you just take a bare hook and you tie material to it, a lot of times what will happen is it'll just start spinning because there's nothing for it to grab or hold on to. So that's why we take thread and we tie it, right? That's just the only, and this is for anybody else that, you know, is new or doesn't know. Like we had someone come in here and that was saying that their material was spinning every time they tied it on. And it turned out that they just weren't holding the material as they were tying it. They were kind of loosely holding it and they would start wrapping and tying it and the material would start spinning. So you just got to pinch it here, right? Use a lot of deer bucktail, so I kind of need the GSP. Now, why do you're saying bucktail as a regular bucktail like this? Why do you need to use GSP with bucktail? How much did I spend on my Regal? Look, I should have spent, I think it's $400 and something. By the way, we got a new head, okay? But because the owner of the company is amazing, I always like to say this because I got it completely for free. I was tying at Saltwater Edge for Striper Day. They were doing this thing up at Saltwater Edge in Rhode Island where they have different manufacturers, and they invited me up there because I tie flies for them. And I met the owner of Regal, and I was using a Renzetti Vise and Saltwater Traveler that was pretty beat up. And we were talking, and he was like, here, try the Regal out for the day. And he gave me a Revolution to use. I think it had the lime green heads. And I said, this is fantastic. I was like, let me know, like, what, I'll buy one, this, that, the cost, because I'm looking for a Vise. And he said, all right, cool, give me your address. He just sent it to me. So I've never had to pay for this. And I've probably tied, I couldn't tell you how many tens of thousands of flies. I did have to have the head sent in. So I did have it sent in because this, just from over time, opening and closing it, like I wish there was an electronic counter. Like, how in Alien it counted the magazine on their their marine rifles. I wish I had an electronic counter that told me how many times I've opened and closed this. Because I'm betting you, I mean, some flies you have to do it so many times because I don't tie flies one at a time. I tie them in sections. Some flies have 5 sections. And if there's 100 flies times 5 sections, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? It's like 500 times of doing this. So one time I did have to send it in because this started like moving. So Don just adjusted it. But he did build me a new one because this thing, I don't know, like I'll show you guys real quick. This is kind of like, now this is a darker purple. I think this is what it originally looked like, in fact. Let me see. This is I never used this, by the way. This came with it. So this is a little darker. I think he literally like made this in a day for me. It's a little darker purple, but this is kind of like what it originally looked like, the color, right? And this you can see is what it looks like after my hand has worn away the powder coating. You can see right here. This is from me doing this for 10,000 flies. So I contacted him recently. I was like, oh, let me get a new head or something. I'll buy it. Again, they just built me another head, right? So I can't recommend them enough. If you are looking for a Vise, Regal, fantastic. I didn't have Don's number, the owner, because I got a new phone at some point. I didn't even know if he would remember me, right? Because I haven't talked to him in years. I'm not like part of their official program or anything like that. I'm not a sponsored tire or anything. They didn't, other than him just building this for me, there was no obligation to do anything, but I've just been promoting them forever because I love it. But I contacted the customer service, and the woman that was there, she was so nice. And they, without even like knowing necessarily who I was, they were pretty much willing to like help me and do all this stuff. So I can't recommend Regal enough because just with their customer service, they're based in Massachusetts. All of the components are made in Massachusetts, right? And not only do they make Vises, they're one of the only places like in Massachusetts that cast like bronze. They specifically do like bronze and brass or something, like cast and all this stuff. So they not only make Vises, but they make stuff for like, they manufacture metal for like other industries essentially. But so it's all house made in Massachusetts. So that's one of the reasons why I love it. So Regal Revolution, can't recommend it enough. I think these go for like $430 or something like that. So we'll see. I was talking to Don. I was like, let's make it official. Get me on like some Regal team or something like that, just so I can officially point people into buying your Vises more so than I already do. And again, nowadays, being completely transparent, I think you could buy pretty much any name brand Vise, Peak, Renzetti, Dynacane, and above a certain price range, 200 and something bucks, you're getting a pretty decent Vise, right? And Regal has their $229 price range Vise. And then you start getting into the next upper tier. This is the upper tier. This is the Revolution. It's like 4 something. Some companies, this is like some other companies with their Vise is going to like $1,000, like $800 for their upper, brands, upper quality ones. But I think nowadays, as long as it's something you're comfortable with, Dynavise, whatever, or I sold it. What was the name? The Norvise? That's a really cool Vise. Oh, there you go. I just looked over. You typed that. I tried it. I bought it thinking it would change my commercial fly tying, that I could start hooking up electric drills to it and start making dubbing brushes. I didn't like it. I don't know. There's something about it. It just, the way that it sits, it doesn't think about large flies. This is what I found with a Norvise. Okay. Now, I don't know what the distance is here for this head. Let's measure it. This is the big game jaws, but even comparably, the regular jaws, they're a little shorter, right? Let's do a test. This is a size 4-aught Eagle Claw hook. 254. And this is 6 3/4 of an inch to the rotary mechanism. Okay? Now, if you have a big fly, let's get a big fly. And when I say big fly, let's get a Vise fly. Okay? Now, what happens with the Norvise and large flies, the head's shorter. And if you have lawn flash, so what I was doing is I was wrapping body, okay, on like razzle dazzles, let's say, and the flash would like get wrapped into the like head. You know what I mean? So if you're not tying flies over a certain size, I think it's fantastic. It really was. It was buttery smooth. It was like perfectly in line. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like really big flies and commercial tying big flies, it just didn't work. And you know what? The company's fantastic. I didn't reach out to them or nothing, but I posted on Instagram, and it just goes to show how small. Now, mind you, I've been tying flies and selling flies for like 8 or 9 years now, ever since I like quit my job as a mechanic. I was doing it way before that, spending my life in the fly fishing world. But then I started being in the industry, and I never reached out. I don't know, but the owner of Norvise was following me on Instagram and saw I put it up for sale, and they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" This and that. They were so nice too, and they were trying to, and I was like, "I love your Vise. It just doesn't work for exactly what I do." You know what I mean? And I'm making sure I tell people that, because I think I was streaming at the time, and I think my ex-girlfriend at the time, amazing woman, actually bought me like a bunch of Norvise. I think they bought me the Norvise for my birthday and Christmas, her and her mom. Very nice. It just turns out it wasn't, didn't really work for me personally. If you get one though, Jimmy, I have extra spools that I never sold on eBay, and if you want, I'll give them to you for like $10 or something. I don't know. I have like that 5 set of the metal spools where you can spool thread yourself, because they give you a special bobbin. They got a whole system. It's really cool. So I think it's important to go and try Vise out. Gabe was asking about it. Vise is a very personal thing if you like tying a lot. It's like if you're a mechanic, and it's like whether or not you like Mac tools, you like Mac, you like Snap-on, you know what I mean? If you're like a construction dude or a painter and you like a certain brush. So if you do a lot of fly tying, definitely go try one out. And like just, feel it like with your hands, see if it's comfortable. And a lot of times it doesn't matter. You can get a Regal, you can get a Renzetti, you can get whatever. It'll be great. I recommend Regal because I tie for them unofficially. I love it. I did have some issues. Guess what? I've had issues with every single Vise. Like I said, I had to send it in because the handle on this, it was like starting to slowly move upwards. I think it just had to be adjusted, but I just sent it in. And it started moving and it would start hitting the bottom of this, right? Way over time. And I think they just had to bend this down. With my Renzetti, it was literally held together with rubber bands. Okay, the Renzetti Saltwater Traveler. Shout out to Renzetti. I love that Vise. From when I was like 12 years old to when I was like 22, I was tying flies for fly shops locally. Great. We're going to look it up. I'll show you it right now. Renzetti Saltwater Traveler. Let's see. Can I just pull up Renzetti? Yeah, let's look at their actual site. So this is the Renzetti Saltwater Traveler. I used this for years. Which, by the way, when I bought it, I think it was like 2 something. Or like this, 300, something like this, right? Do they still use rubber bands? I think they do. I don't think you could see it, but there's a band. Do they? Or did they not do it anymore? It only shows it from one angle. Can I get a confirmation? Are they still using those bands? Because they would. What would happen to me with my Saltwater Traveler? You see the pin? Can I like zoom in? Yeah, still the rubber band. This pin right here where my mouse is popped out over time, moving. Because what you do is when it's fully forward or down, it's open. And then you pull it up to tighten it when the hook is in there. And it has a mechanism, right? The pin that is right here over time, it like got loose. And the pin would pop out and I lost it because I would tie it at the skate park. So got a replacement. I got replacement jaws. And then I had the rubber band thing break and all this that held the jaws together. So there were all these issues. So no matter what, but by the way, I've tied 10,000 flies on this vise as well. Fantastic vise. It's a little bit more expensive now, right? It's like $300, I think, or $400 it goes for, something like that, depending on what you get. Good vise, but whatever you get, if you tie 10,000 flies on it, over time, and you don't take care of it very well, something's gonna happen. And I was talking to Don. This is something else I need to do. I live probably a quarter mile of the way from a huge bay of saltwater, and the ocean blows like a mile away or less is the ocean, like the Atlantic Ocean, and the salt humidity just blows directly off the ocean into my room, essentially, with the way the winds go. My guitar strings get destroyed, right? Especially because my hands sweat when I play guitar. So like I would have to change guitar strings once a week. So this thing is slightly rusting a little bit on the handle because during the summertime, my hands sweat when I tie, right? And then this is like the area I'm constantly holding right here. And I'm like sweating right here. So I'm getting some like surface rust. And I'm just lazy. But talking to Don, what I need to start doing is you essentially use gun lubricant, use gun cleaning. I think he said G27 is the preservative gun oil he uses. But just like any other tool or, metal thing, you gotta put some like a gun, for instance, like a gun barrel or finish. You have to like condition it from time to time. So especially in particularly if you live in a high humidity salt area and your hands sweat all the time. So that's something I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start conditioning the heads. And again, this has been probably 4 or 5 years, right? And traveled all over. I will say I love just the patina that is formed on the brass for me wearing it down over the years. I love it. And like there's like a little corrosion and stuff, but like the patina on the brass, it just looks like it's almost like, 20 years old because I've just handled it so much. That's why I like this stuff. You know what I mean? It feels like it's like, it was invented like 100 years ago, but it's so quality it doesn't matter. And in reality, I mean, the Revolution's different, but the Jaws, I mean, Regal's been around for a really long time. You know what I mean? So, but there's something really cool to the brass. It just like, you know what I mean? Like you ever go in like an old garage somewhere and there's a bunch of like brass tools and stuff from like the 40s or 20s, when everything was like handmade. I don't know. This is just what it kind of reminds me of. Instead of everything being so like perfectly machined. Like this almost looks to me like it was hand polished. I think it is or something. It wasn't done with like I'm sure it was machined, but you see how it's like it was now he made this in like a day though or something, but and sending it out to me. But
New
there's something
Vise
cool
Day,
about it.
Let's go.
New Vice Day, let's go. It sounded like the AI just had a stroke. But yo, Master Battle, thank you, my dude. Speaking of which, you came in at the right time. Exclamation mark play. We're just chatting. We tied some flies. We're kind of just hanging out, chit chatting, part of the stream now. But exclamation mark play. We have the sub giveaway going on, so it was a perfect time to resub. But thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. What's going on, Wolfram? How you doing, man? Is my nemesis here? I forgot who your nemesis was. Probably. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, there was a nemesis. We have nemesises in marble races now. The rubber band. By the way, I gotta clarify. Renzetti's a great company and all this stuff. I'll let you guys know if I don't like a company. Okay, and you know me, I'll say it. Okay, but I also just say it like it is. Right? I don't filter myself. Long Islander, born and raised. You know what I mean? Let's just say I don't think a fly company would ever hire me and have me be the face of their social media. Because if I get some fly tying material, and the 8th time I bought it, and the quality is just crap, I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm just not gonna buy it anymore. I'm gonna tell you guys. No, you didn't miss out on any drama. It's just sometimes, I probably have blacklisted myself from certain, from saying, having people say hi back to me at certain fly shows. Like the CEO of some company like Waspy's like, this guy, every time he uses our eyes, he always talks about how crap they are. Yeah, we're never going to invite him to our holiday fly tying party. He's off the list. I totally like the style, and by the way, they're put together. It's been on my want list of Vise for a while. Hell yeah, dude. I think you're gonna like it. I think you'll like the Norvise. Speaking of which, though, I think it is the time in the stream where we should probably wrap it up here and get our marble race going. If you guys haven't checked out, make sure to watch the new Razzle Dazzle video that came out today. All you got to do is like the video, comment something about flies or fly fishing on it, and be subscribed to my YouTube channel. And then in a week, I'm going to pick from all of the people eligible on that YouTube video. It'll be our first YouTube giveaway. So, I've never used the Snowfo, Jay. I've used the Snowfo Vise. Bobbin, I'm sorry. And it fell apart when I dropped it, but it was really cool. I still have it. I don't know where the top part went, and it was Italian. It felt like a Ferrari or something. Where's the Razzle Dazzle video, Jimmy? It's if you click my name, for my channel, it'll, in fact, I need to put it on the home page and just hit videos. It'll be the newest video. That's how, in general, if you go to a YouTube channel, they have their home page, and it'll have, however they have it set up. The way I have it set up is how it has, recommended for that particular person. Maybe they like something, whatever. And then it'll have videos, most popular videos, playlists, whatever. But the way, usually, if you're going to a channel and you're looking, you go, you click the channel, you look, and you hit videos. Boom. And then it'll show from the newest. I've never used Snowful Vise, though. The ship sailed, I'm getting a Regal. Good. Hey, look. I got to tell Don, all right? Because they just built me a new hat. I'm selling Regals, all right? They're doing something right. I know North Fork Flies. Did AR get one? No, I don't think AR got one. I know a couple different folks have bought Regals. If you ever have any issues, Gabe, you shouldn't. But if you ever have any issues, because let's say you start commercial tying, right? And you're tying 10,000 flies, and over time, something happens, just contact them. And the customer service is fantastic, so they'll take care of you. But AR has a peak. Okay. Somebody else I know bought a Regal. I think a medallion. No, yeah. So unfortunately for this marble race that we're about to do, Jimmy, it's only for Twitch because the marble thing only works. It's integrated with Twitch. Twitch also doesn't allow me to give away stuff on YouTube and Twitch at the same time because they're jealous, right? And we love Twitch. It's okay. That's why I don't want to hurt them. Okay. So to do YouTube giveaways, I'm doing it on the last video, the last Friday video of each month. So all you got to do after this is done, you just go watch that video, and it'll be in the video. But all you got to do is watch it, like it, and bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I mean, you can, I mean, this is for subscribers only, this one. You can join and participate, but the first person with a tier 1 or Twitch sub, you don't got to come here and sub. It's all good. If you have a Twitch Prime, feel free to do it. If you got a free Twitch Prime, that doesn't cost you anything. But for next month, we usually the first race we do is for followers. All you got to do, that's like, you know, like how you would normally, you don't got to pay anything. So keep that in mind for next month. You could come join right now. But I'm not going to tell you to subscribe to the channel to get a chance to win some flies, all right? Because that's BS. So you can just watch the video after this or whatever. And as I say that, Rabbit Penguin with the tier 1, brand new tier 1, give it up. It worked, folks. Got one. Woo! That's right. Got one. I mean, thank you so much for the support. Fishermen got to support fishermen. Hey, that's right. You know what that reminds me of? Is the, thank you so much, by the way, Rabbit. I do appreciate it. You know what that reminds me of? Is the skit with Wayne Brady. Okay? And where he's like, us black actors, we got to stick together. And he's like, all right, I'm going to need you to smoke the crystal meth. Or he's trying to get him to smoke the PCP. He's like, yeah. He just shot. They're like, oh, crap, it's Wayne Brady. And he shoots the dude. And then he's like, yeah, remember, us black actors got to stick together. Whenever I hear something, like, you know, like you got to support somebody, that always reminds me of that skit. Yeah, you like to get wet, Dave? Have some of this angel dust. Herman Henderson. Or something. That's what I always think of when I like hear that sort of terminology. Which is, I mean, it's not my favorite skit. Like, there's so many good ones, right? But I'll never forget when that skit aired on Comedy Central. Me and my dad watched it. It was hilarious because Wayne Brady had a daytime television talk show at the time, and he was on that Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like, that's how we knew him, is Whose Line Is It Anyway? And then he appears on Dave Chappelle's show, and he's like a pimp. He's smoking angel dust. He's shooting people with AKs. Like, I remember my dad was laughing so hard. Oh, brings back memories. But thank you so much. Yo, Rabbit, if you haven't joined the Discord, can we get an exclamation mark Discord? Just in case. And yo, Riggedy Bop coming in with that, hey, that Twitch Prime. We got those Bezos bucks. Let's go. Yo, Jimmy, I'll give you, what did we talk about, 1%? All right. I hired him to bring up the how do I like get into the sub and how do I do Twitch. It worked. We got 2. That's right. No, thank you, Riggedy. I appreciate it, my dude. I know you got a lot of fellow Twitch people you watch, so you could have used that on somebody else. But let's see if it paid off, shall we? I gave you the only like on this live stream so far, so I'm the only one. Well, I appreciate you calling out your fellow YouTube viewers. What the hell, guys? You telling me Jimmy Crack Corn is the only one liking the stream? Jimmy Crack Corn, I don't care. You can't even get a like? Now, I'm not going to tell you guys to like, I try not to like pimp myself out too much. Like, hey guys, what's up? It's Morgs. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit yourself in the head with a hammer. Appreciate it. I try not to do that too much, but I do appreciate it. Liking the stream actually really helps. I think if you get to like 100 likes, YouTube starts pumping your stream to a lot more different people. But that's all right. You guys like it if you actually like it, all right? I care more. Yeah, that's what I thought. Who cares the most? All right. Exclamation mark play if you haven't. First subscriber in the pit's going to win some flies. And guess what? I got to... You see all these suckers back here? This is what I got to do tonight. All right? Because somebody's gonna be winning some flies. We'll be shipping that out probably next week. I have some last month stuff I have to ship out, but I gotta finish these. Go to the post office. So, you know, you guys are so nice. You're trying to out here look. You're looking out. Fly fishermen got to stick together. You know. I appreciate it. Face blue smiling emote. All right, very nice. I like how that's what it looks like to me. It just typed out like that. Okay. First marble in the pit's going to be winning some flies. Good luck. Can we get some music here, Jerry? Give me the Mortal Kombat one. Where's that one? Yeah. I'm just here to double dip. You want to go fly fishing with Tucker Carlson? There you go. Yeah, I don't think I've ever fly fished with anyone, like, celebrity famous. There's a lot of, like, you know, people from TV that fly fish and stuff. I know people, what do you call it? I know people, like, there's some celebrity chef guys that are big into fly fishing for striped bass and stuff, you see. The real celebrities are Mark Sidoti, the Bob Popovics, rest in peace, you know, the Glenn Mickelsons. No, I fish with Mark Sidoti. No, Mark Sidoti, but I sit charter guide in Sitka, Alaska during the summer. Very cool. Oh, get your head in the game, Jerry. We got a race to do. That's right. All right, chat. Good luck. Yeah, Sitka. Now, are they obliged to send you that $300 hunting gear, you know, the Sitka jackets, because they stole your guy's name? Or I feel like they should at least give the town of Sitka those camo jackets. Like, if you bow hunt, you know what I'm talking about? That, like, $500 military state-of-the-art Sitka camo. Like, they should at least do a raffle where they, like, give you guys stuff. You know what I mean? I was so tempted to get some. What do we got going on over here? We got some sort of mechanism over here. Whoa! Cut off. Going right. You didn't make the cut, Riggedy. Maybe that'll pay off. Who knows? We got a little drawbridge situation. You can definitely buy them. Yeah, they're extremely expensive. And they look really nice. It's like if you're trying to get 1,000 Instagram followers and you bow hunt, you got to get Sitka gear, right? Otherwise, you look like a bozo. Imagine hunting with like Dick's Sporting Good jackets like I do, like $40. If I can't see your butt in Sitka pants, are you really hunting? Skin tight? Yeah, we should get on that and sign a petition. They should be giving you guys free jackets. You know what I mean? Like, did they even get permission? Doc, looking good. You're saying, guess what? You don't want to pay international prices? You'll be paying today, baby. It's not bad. It's like in stamps, you know. Hey, I went from bubble packaging, and they said you got to pay $400 to send it to Ireland. I said, okay, screw you guys. I'm putting it in an envelope. And guess what? Doc is getting an envelope with some flies. He already was. And I can't put too many in there, so that means I just got to send him another one at some point. Just keep them coming. I'll send one out every like 3 months. We'll just keep sending Doc one fly in the mail. Because if I put too many in there, it won't get through the automatic passer thing, you know, to like the robot that moves the envelopes. Congratulations, Doc, my friend. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to slap up? What's going on, Virtual Max? How you doing? Doc, congratulations. What's the result here, by the way, with looks like a 5-point lead. 5-second lead. That's right. Round of applause. Round of applause again. Why not? Give it up. Long time sub. Our fly time brother from Ireland. If you're in that area of the world, you should look up Doc. He does some commercial fly tying as well. So you can, if you live in Ireland, you could buy some of Doc's flies if you go to certain shops. So you never know. It wouldn't be the first time we had another Irish fly fisherman in here. All right. So we got, let me write this down, February. We got Gabe for the follower, and we got Doc for sub. I have Jin, AR, and Supra packaged 1 or 2 flies in an envelope. I'm bringing that tomorrow, putting it in the mailbox. Shipping Bujika some minis because he wanted me to paint him some minis. So I did that for D&D. That was actually fun. It was my first painting commission. Shout out to Bujika. He's going to help me pay my car insurance. And yeah, well, this week's or this month's winner will ship out like next week or so. I usually wait a week or two just to give me a little, spread it out. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look, sometimes we're very informative on our fly tying streams, and sometimes it's almost like a town hall where we just kind of hang out, chit chat, and you never know. We might be talking about aliens next time. But I appreciate you folks hanging out. If you haven't, be sure to go and check out the Razzle Dazzle video with a chance to win the fly in the video, which is a beautiful Razzle Dazzle, with Rhea hackle on top. Just go and pay attention to what it says near the end of the video and follow the details and do that. So thank you so much, everyone watching on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you for hanging out. Have you ever used a center pin? No, never used. I've seen it done steelheading. We don't really do that sort of fishing down here. I've spin fished, I've surf casted, I've bait casted, never center pin. That's like a river fishing sort of thing. Like we have a lot of bays, oceans, and stuff. I'm on Long Island, surrounded by saltwater. But I've seen people fish for steelhead drifting like 100 yards at a time with bait. It seems very interesting, but pretty cool. Knuckle busters. I mean, they're pretty much fly reels, right? Like older fly reels do the exact same thing where they backspin and they hit you in the knuckles and break your knuckles. So I thought people were fly fishing at first when I saw it, But yeah, very cool. I hate center pins, Gabe types in all caps. Now, if you fly fish and you're trying to fish and some guy is drifting like 350 feet and you're like, this guy got the whole river he's center pin drifting. But, that's how it is. You don't like them because they suck to use, you say, Gabe. It's like hard to master, right? It's like I'm assuming it takes like probably skill. Like if I tried to do it, I'd probably backlash it or something, right? Like you have to like keep the tension on it as you let it out. To use your palm probably or something. Yeah. Well, this is a discussion for another time. But thank you so much for watching, chat. I'm going to get some work done. AR, we did the race, baby. You were in there too, but Doc won. You were in there, right? Yep. I'll show you. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that, but 8th place, my friend. Better luck next time. You are using a Rubik's Cube. It's not very ideal for rolling down a track. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Maybe go with a round cylindrical shape next time. Oh, you're trying to get into the next one. No, we did our first one earlier. That was a subscriber one. We've been starting a little earlier because I've been uploading a video on YouTube and going live after. We went live at like 5:30 today or something. So we did our 2 marble races. Not a super long stream, like 2.5 hours or whatever. But I got to get some work done, and we'll be live next Friday. We might do some streams in between, but I'm not trying to. I don't want to promise anything. I'm easing back into streaming. We're doing every Friday. I'm doing 4 YouTube videos a week. So, but never mind. We should chit chat sometime about YouTube soon. I'll show you what doing 4 videos a week has done for my channel. It's nothing crazy, but it's interesting to see. So, but thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it, chat. Thank you again. Also, shout out Riggedy Bop and Mr. Rabid Penguin. Thank you guys for the resubs and Master of Battle. AR Fly Fisher as well. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. You guys will get credited in a YouTube video for being a Twitch sub. just give me a couple weeks. I update, you know, after, you know, because I stream once a week. In one of the, probably 2 weeks from now or a week from now, the new YouTube videos, your name will be in there as a thank you. So just putting that out there. You getting, you know, keep that in mind. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. You have an awesome night. All right. Thank you for tuning in and watching. All right. I'm getting out of here, Chad. I've been saying I'm going to shut the stream off for 5 minutes. All right. Later. Watch the video. Go watch the Rhea video. Peace.